Hey guys, I just was watching a quick video, not purposely, but just came across some website called Angel, and they got something to do with some children that was in foster care, and they got into a foster. I think they got into a real family, adopted family or something. But anyway, the child had to take a bath, right, and he was like going crazy, crying. I don't want it. And I didn't know what it was at first until I looked, and they showed us the water running. So they showed us the water running, right? So the child seemed to be afraid to get into the water. Now, the only reason why I'm making this video, because it brought a reminder to me. After my husband did what he did to my daughter, right? And I think we was no longer together. We had done separated then. Not by then, but then. Right? And I went to go give this daughter a bath, and she started screaming, and she was holding on to me real tight. She wrapped her legs around here, and she wrapped her arms around my neck. And I was trying to take her down, and she was holding. So as long as I stayed in the bathroom, she would scream bloody murder. And then I said, okay, what? Is this yours? What is it?
It's water, but it got a golden texture to it.
Is y'all cleaning out the refrigerator?
Yeah. It smells like pink.
No, that's ginger ale. That was Lizzie. Probably ain't good. Probably don't even taste right. You can taste it and see, but that's Lizzie's. It's actually ginger ale, because I poured it in there. Shucks, man. What cheese again? This is why I don't get cheese. Because they just be going crazy with the cheese. I don't need all that cheese. Shucks. Okay, so let me go on. So, when I came out the bathroom and went in the bedroom, the living room, I put it down on the couch. Once I came out the bathroom, she kind of calmed down. I was talking, soothing her. It's all right, Mommy got you. It's okay. What happened? What happened? It's okay. Because I couldn't figure out what he exactly had did to her. Way before she started crying because I didn't take her a bath or nothing. He just said that she fell in the water. Like that, right? So, face value, I got to take what you tell me because I wasn't there. And I never was very judgmental, right? So, I really don't want to get like into depth in reference to him. I just want to tell this in reference to my daughter. Because it brought back a memory when the girl didn't want to, when the child didn't want to take a bath. So this is what it's all about. I don't want to really talk about my husband because this is not about my husband. I'll bring this in when I go to talk about him. I probably done told it already, but if I didn't, then comment below if y'all want to know that story. I don't mind telling it because it happened so many years ago, but it's still a memory in my head. So, I sat her down, let her know it's okay, mommy's here. You don't have to worry about nothing. Mommy got your back. Mommy gonna take care of you. Mommy love you. Da 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 da. Just like I said, I didn't know how my husband hurted her. I know he did it, but I didn't know how. So, that day went by. Went on. Now, when I'm giving her baths or trying to give her baths and stuff like this, my husband's no longer there. It's just me and him, me and her, and it's just me and my children now. My son it stayed with my grandmother, so he's with my grandmother. So I only got Mary. At that time, she was the I don't know why I call her the middle girl, but she's actually the last girl. She was the middle child. No, she's not the middle child. Actually, Tandra would have been the middle child. Now, when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, I always call Mary the middle child, but Mary wasn't the middle child. The middle child is when you have an oldest child, and then the last child, which would have been Danielle. So I guess she is in the middle because Danielle was the last child. So it was my son, it was Tandra, it was Mary, and then it was Danielle. So once Danielle came along, she was considered the middle child. So I had it right, okay. So it was just me, Tandra, and Mary. Terrence was with my grandmother. My grandmother took him and said, I'm going to take care of him because I don't know what would happen to me. God forbid Tracy do something to him. So she took Terrence at the age, Tandra was 3 to 6 months when that happened. Because she was walking, so she had to be 6 months. So Terrence was born 83. She was born 84. She was born February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Maybe it was about August. Yeah. So she was between 3 and 6 months. I know she was a little baby. No, when it first happened to her, she couldn't walk. So she had to be 3 months. So when that happened to her, it was a few months later, to be honest. It was a few months later. So, he's gone. Just me and her. So I had to talk with her. I told Mommy what happened. And she was like, oh my goodness. What did that man do to that girl? For her to be petrified of water. So, she said, Sharon, she said, you got to take your time with her. She said, you got to take your time. She said, because if you don't take your time with her, you're going to lose her. And she will always be afraid of water. She said, and you don't want that because you want her to want to take a bath. So, I waited a few weeks or whatever. I would just give her sponge baths and stuff like that. So now, after she got kind of comfortable with me getting water and putting water on her legs and water on her body and stuff like that, I went for it again, right, to put in the tub. But I prepped her. I sat her down on the chair and I told her, I said, okay. I said, Mommy's going to give you another bath. And when I said bath, her eyes got big and she started stiffening. I said, no. I said, Mommy's going to get I said, you want mommy to get in the tub with you? So she was like, yeah. I said, okay, mommy's gonna get in the tub with you. Right? She said, okay. I'm trying to think. She couldn't talk, though. So, she wouldn't talk. So, she had to be real young. She couldn't talk. She wasn't talking, rather. Not couldn't talk. She wasn't talking. She never had no problems in talking. So, we went on, and I got in the tub with her, and I couldn't too much wash her. I couldn't too much wash her because she wouldn't let me go. But she was getting a little bit comfortable with the water because I would take the water, splash it on her. But her little arm was around my neck. She would not let me go. So we did that time. So I told Mom, she said, that's good. She said, her fear's letting down. So she said, from now on, for now, she said, you get in the water with her. She said, don't attempt to wash her, just get her in the water with her so she would get used to the water again. So we did that for a few weeks, maybe a few months. Now, mind you, I don't want y'all to think that I wasn't washing my child, because I did. I just wasn't washing the tub. I was breaking that boundary. I was breaking that fear of the bathtub with the water, because it was a connection with the water in the bathtub that I was gathering. So I had to break that connection and let her know that the water necessarily don't have to be in the tub. I could put it in the pan, I could put it on the rag. But the tub is so that I can wash the whole body. That's what the tub is for. So I had to take my time with that. So, little by little, she kind of weaned off from me getting in the tub with her. So, I prepped her and let her know. I said, okay, all right, we're going to take a bath. You ready to take a bath? So she was like, mm-hmm. I said, so mommy's not going to get in the tub with you, but mommy's going to be on the outside of the tub, and mommy's going to hold you in the water. And she kind of like, I said, it's okay. I said, I'm going to have you. So I had to, see, as I was doing this, I was putting the pieces together to let me know what really happened. So I had to be very careful with the water. When I would run the water and I would go to put her in, her legs would go up, right? Like she refused to touch. She was holding on to my head like this, like. But as time went on, she relaxed and her legs would hang down. And I would have my hand, I have her over here, and I put my hand in the water, my whole arm in the water, and let her know everything is good. And I said, okay, you ready? And she'd be like, yeah. Then I would take her and I would say, okay, I'm gonna hold you like this. I say, and you put your leg down. You put one leg, two legs, your feet, however you want to do it. So she would take her feet and she'd dip it in and bring it back up. I said, it's too high? And she'd go, I said, you gotta let me know. I said, it's all right for me, because they said in order to check temperature of a baby, after that happened, they would taught me what to do. They said in order to check temperature of the baby, of a child, baby, whatever, so you don't check with your hand, because your hand holds a different type of temperature than your elbow, right? He said, so put your elbow in, and that temperature is totally different from your hand temperature, whatever. It made sense to me, because when I did it, I could tell the difference. Because whereas when I put my hand in here, when I put my hand in, it seemed kind of cold. But when I put my elbow in, it seemed warm, like body temperature. So I was like, it's good. I said, just put one foot in there or whatever. So she stuck her foot in there. She jumped it up, and she stuck it in, and she jumped it up, and then she put her feet in little by little. And then I could feel the body relaxing. I said, okay. I said, put the other one in. So she put the other one down. I said, so I slowly put her down. And she was like, I said, it's hot. She was like, no, no, no. I said, okay. So we put it down. I put her in there. And then I put like a little barely water covering the bottom of the tub, right? So it was like just covering her thigh part, you know. And I put her down and then let her sit in it. And I was singing to her, and I was washing her, and she was smiling and stuff like that. So she got past that. So I just wanted to tell that story because it brought back a memory. And she eventually got over the water. And she eventually got over the water. And you couldn't keep her out of the tub. She was a bath person. That's so crazy, though. You know, after we moved to different places, you know, the tubs wasn't all that. You know, these tiny tubs or whatever. But she kept herself clean. She stayed in the water. Every time you turn around, she was taking a shower. So now that I'm thinking about it, I have to pat myself on the back. Because if I didn't do as Mommy said, this is why I was telling y'all yesterday, in my video yesterday, that my grandmother did not deprive herself of things so that I could have it. Because then she would have been dead long ago. Just think if she didn't eat. So I can eat. Now I'm up here, I'm well, and I go in the kitchen, she done passed out. And the doctors come and say, oh, she's malnutrition, she don't eat. What am I gonna say? She gave me her food. Well, she can't be giving you her food. She got to take care of herself. So she didn't do all that. She took care of me. She didn't deprive herself. She didn't starve herself. She didn't not buy herself stuff so that I can have it. If I go to her and tell her, "Oh, Mommy, I want this nice hat," she didn't just get up and say, "Okay, I'm gonna go get it," and now she walking around with her hair looking busted and her hat look like she got it from out of the woods. No, Mommy took care of herself and she took care of me. So again, I said, I do not have nothing against the parents that do such a thing, but this is my life, and this is what my grandmother did not teach me. So I didn't go all out my way to buy things for my children to make them happy. I went all out my way to teach them the way of life so that they can stay happy based on reality, not based on a materialistic thing. No, feeding your children is not materialistic. It is life. It's something you got to do. Yes, I understand that. But I ain't go, well, I can't say I didn't because I did. Because I was skinny. I had my pressure. I was doing all this. But it wasn't because I was giving them my food. It was because I just wasn't eating. Excuse me. At the time, I was drinking, I was smoking, and believe it or not, drinking and smoking cuts your appetite because you don't taste nothing. The alcohol kills taste buds. It kills brain cells. It kills the reality of being able to take care of yourself because you are addicted to this. So now you have to get this. I had to get this drink. Now, I didn't go out there selling myself to get these things. I didn't go out there stealing stuff to get these things. I did know how to, I'm not going to use the word budget, but in another perspective, I did know how to budget myself so that I was able to get what I wanted. my habits. So I smoked cigarettes, I bought cartons. I drank liquor, I bought fifths. I didn't just go get a half a pint because I want to save money. No, I will buy a gallon so I will have when I don't have no money. I will look at the big picture. And that's where I am today. When I buy stuff to last. I don't buy for the moment. And that's how I was taught. Mommy did not cook food just, well, we ate 3 times a day, to be honest. But she didn't cook just to please me. She cooked because that's what she was supposed to do, because I had to eat. And she had to eat. So a lot of times I'll be in the room listening to records or whatever, and she be in there chowing. And I'll come in there, I say, oh, can I have some? Sometimes she would say, no, I'm eating now, and you go back in the room. And I went back in the room. I didn't go mad, making a big scene because mommy didn't give me what she was eating. I learned boundaries. When she was in the kitchen and she was cooking, she said, Sharon, go out there when the food is done, I'll call you. That's what she did. She didn't sneak and eat the food and then I went to bed hungry. When the food was done, all right, Sharon, come and eat. And I'll go sit down and me and her sitting at the table and we're eating. She didn't let me get my plate of food and go in the living room and she eating in the kitchen or she eating in the bedroom watching TV. There was no TV to watch. I could not eat nothing that was considered food in her living room, in no part of her room. She never did it. If she ate anything with a piece of candy or something like that. But even eating nuts, because she was a nut, she loved it nuts. Walnuts, peanuts. She had a grinder where she put it in there and grind it up. And we would sit at the table eating peanuts. We sit at the table eating walnuts. She taught me how to crack them and everything. Let me see what a nutcracker is. See, this is what I'm saying. These are the things that she taught me. She showed her love for me. See, the word mother is what I think intimidates mothers. They have this thing based on how they was raised that they feel like, oh, I got to do more for my child. I got to go break my neck so that they can go through medical school. I got to go work. I understand. Do that. Do you. I'm not saying that. This is what I did. I ain't had to go out there breaking my neck to do nothing for my children because I'm going to teach them. You get a job, well, in all honesty, you don't get no job. You get a man that's going to take care of you. That's what you get. You don't get yourself all up and out in a... You don't get yourself, as my father would call it, you don't get your bowels up in the uproar. Out there trying to make this money to pay your bills and your man line up on you while you out there working. And you walking to, honey, did you get my cigarettes? Oh, I want me a burger. Okay, I'll be right back. See, people got the wrong aspect. The women got the wrong aspect of what God said to be a helpmate. You are a helpmate to that man because that man is doing what he's supposed to do. So in all honesty, if he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, then you ain't got to do what you're supposed to do. So you don't break your neck to take care of him, and he ain't taking care of you. This is what I was taught. So I wasn't brought up in a home, a 2-parent home where my grandmother and my grandfather was there. No, my grandfather was a dog, okay? Treated her bad and tried to kill her, and God separated them. And he wound up dying later on in life and leaving her here to take care of kids and grandkids. But by then, her kids was big. Excuse me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, this is what she taught me. This is what Gaga taught me. They taught me the Bible. They trained me up biblically. So that way, when I went out there and I interact with men, I interact with men that was good. Yeah, I may have fights, but it wasn't as, my abuse, my physical abuse was nothing compared to some people abuse. Where people was breaking arms and breaking jaws and black eyes. Yeah, I had a black eye, but I'm talking about that ain't never happened no more. He ain't never did that to me no more. You see what I'm saying? So my morals that I was taught, my morals that I have, I got from being taught them. It didn't grow upon me. I didn't have to go from man to man and get beat up and get this and get that to finally make a decision to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to get me a good man. I'm not doing that. No. It was started at home. The Bible says charity begins at home and then it spread abroad. So love was at home first. So even though my grandmother did not have a man in front of me to see what a man is supposed to, what a husband is supposed to be, how a husband is supposed to take care of his family, I didn't grow up with that. But she taught me that. How can I say? The way she cared and loved herself taught me how to care and love me. And when I picked up, no, I won't say picked up. I was born with it. So when oh, I got a pill here. I didn't even take that one. When the reality of people pleasers stepped in, that's when I stopped. And it was a year ago, 2 years ago, when I realized I can't be pleasing nobody no more. And this year, no, Pastor Glover died this year, right? This year, is when I realized that, okay. This year, I realized that pleasing people don't get you nowhere. Doing what people want you to do all the time don't get you nowhere. Loving people don't get you nowhere. I mean, I'm not going to stop loving them because I am. But what I am going to stop is stop pleasing them. So it took those 3 years from my life, from birth to 3, was not with mommy. The 3 years, 2000, this is 4, right? 2024, 23, 22. I mean, there's stuff that God taught me prior to that, but we're going to just take the 3 years since I came into mommy's life at 3 years old. So we're going to do the equation of 3 years. So the 3 years from 22, from 2020, 22, 20, 22, 23, 24, those 3 years, God opened my eyes and let me realize that you don't please nobody but me. You don't break your neck and go all out your way for people but for me. Because I already know these people. I already know how they care about me. Because I already told you that they don't see me. So stop breaking your neck trying to make them see me. That's my job. You just go and do the job that I told you to do. And that's to preach the word. And to love them. That's all you can do. You can't make them love you no matter how much. Yes, you've been trying. You've been breaking your neck. They ask you to do this, you do it. They ask you to go here, you go here. Whatever they want you to do, you did it. And they still don't see me, and they still don't see you. So now it's time for you just to focus on me. So now I want you to understand, prior to these 3 years that God has opened up my eyes to see that I don't got to be pleasing nobody, I was still doing what God said do, but I had like I was unbalanced. God said for me to do this. I go and say, God said to do this. No, God didn't tell you nothing. No, you ain't doing this. Da-da-da-da-da. So I back off and I don't do what God say do. Yet and still, they're not telling me not to do it, but they're not giving me the opportunity to do it. So now I'm as my grandmother would call it, I'm between a rock and a hard place. God said, no, you're not doing that no more. You do what I tell you to do. I'll open up the door for you to do what I need you to do, and you go walk through the door, and that's all you do. Don't do no more, and don't do no less. Time to go to church, I want you to go to church. God already know what's going to transpire in the church before I get there. And if it's going to raise my pressure up, if it's going to stress me out, if it's going to have me thinking wrong about people, God say stay home. Because I don't want nobody tinting my salvation that's in you, messing with your heart, messing with our relationship, and next thing you know, you backslide again. Because he know me better than I know myself. So you know what? I know when you get to church, they're going to do this, and it's going to hurt you, and you're going to, what? Oh, sorry. Boy, more dogs.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. Alright, so that's it.